or get something for yourself, you'll have it delivered to your house before Christmas time. The Heisman Trophy was given out on Saturday night at the New York Athletic Club, just like it is every year. Caleb Williams of my USC Trojans, the 8th Trojans all time to win it. Yes, Reggie got his taken away, but he still won the darn thing back in 2005. But yeah, like I said, the 8th Trojan to win the award. It's always good to see a guy that you watch all year long with a little more interest in winning an award like that. It doesn't mean anything in the big picture of things. It's a nice award. It's something good for the mantle for him. And it's good for the Trojans fans to rejoice for a few hours anyways and say we had the guy who's the best. But in the big picture, it's just a personal award, and it doesn't really mean a hill of beans. It doesn't really get to a point where it even translates to NFL success. There's a lot of guys who don't even end up playing in the NFL. Well, they play, but they don't make much of a mark in the NFL. In general, the Heisman, NFL superstars aren't created out of the Heisman. The Heisman goes to guys that they play for really good teams in good conferences, and they beat up on some teams sometimes, and they pad stats. It's offensive guys who always win the award. Obviously, there's some weaker opponents and programs that they play against, and they can pad the stats a little bit, and it just happens. And in general, the guys in college, when they have that raw talent and they can go out and dominate the way that like Caleb Williams did this year in a number of games and put up big gaudy numbers and win games on his own back and his own legs, it can translate into a Heisman. You look at the one that Johnny Manziel won. He basically won that award the one game against Alabama that Texas A&M won that game against Alabama, upset them. He was the guy that he won the game. Then throughout the rest of the season, put up some good numbers throughout, and it just happens. Like I said, the raw talent though, once you get to the NFL, you're going to be playing against guys that are bigger, faster, and stronger than you, and guys who do this for a living, not just for something to do in high school and college and hope that you're the best. And the raw talent just doesn't translate. You have to put in the work, and a lot of these guys who just they have a chance and an opportunity to do this and be great in college, it doesn't translate into the NFL game, because the NFL game, you're playing against men and you're playing against coaches who have it's their full-time job, and they have schemes and the rest and everything else, and it just doesn't translate to 100% of the time. I mean, there are times obviously that it does. There has been 10 guys I think go to the Hall of Fame who have won Heisman trophies. There's been a couple of guys who never even played the NFL, the couple 3 or 4 here, a couple that weren't even drafted, but guys back in the 50s that never played because they chose military time, and even before the 50s, I shouldn't say just the 50s, but they chose military times and different careers that win the Heisman. But in general, you do get a shot to play in the NFL, but like I said, it doesn't translate to guaranteed success. The option quarterbacks that our main man Tim Tebow with the Florida Gators, who just had the heart of a lion and the will to win, and he got himself a Heisman. His just pure physical stature and his will to win won him a Heisman, obviously, but it didn't translate very well to the NFL. Excuse me. He did get to play, and he's still on TV and making a ton of money because of his college career, not because of his NFL career. So it did help him get paid in that. But the option the option offense isn't a thing in the NFL, so it doesn't translate per se as it does into the college or the pro game. And so winning the Heisman, yes, it's a great thing, but you don't necessarily get yourself an opportunity to play in the NFL, and it doesn't really mean a whole bunch in the big picture of things. It's like I said, it's a nice window dressing. It's a nice thing to have for your career and for your resume. But I'm going to put money on it that a lot of scouts and everything else, they don't care. Like, you got guys who with a lot of talent now who are still playing in the NFL that have won Heisman's. You got Joe Burrow, Kyler Murray, Baker Mayfield. We'll see how Mayfield does. Lamar Jackson, Marcus Mariota, Derrick Henry, and the like. Those kind of guys that their talent did, and they took it to the next level. But then you get the guys like Johnny Manziel, like I mentioned earlier, Jameis Winston. Then you go back further to another one of my Trojans, that's Matt Leinart, who's still on TV with Fox and on college games on Fox. But you get guys who just don't put in the work, and that is Matt Leinart, and that is Jameis Winston, and those type of guys who just their game doesn't translate. They were a great college player. They ended up with money in the bank, obviously, but because they were physically stronger and faster and smarter at that younger age, which the college game is. And they were great. They gave themselves a chance to win that Heisman and translate that into a few bucks here and there and start. I mean, it would be nice to win a Heisman because you guaranteed a couple of bucks somewhere. It'd be a good lottery ticket to have in your back pocket to start life off when you do get out of college, because now you do normally get a chance to end up with a at least a pro tryout and go a first rounder. Usually it's kind of the way it works, but a lot of times they don't work out. Like Robert Griffin III, he wasn't in the league very long. Injuries took a hold, but he had such, I think it was at Baylor, I believe, he had such great speed and physical raw talent that it helped him in college, and he was just able to run games on his own and put up great big numbers and win himself a Heisman, and then ended up getting paid and ended up getting money in his pocket and the like. So congratulations to Caleb Williams on winning the Heisman. I'm not trying to disregard it. There are guys who, like I said, 10 went to the Hall of Fame, but it's not a thing that you should put too much stock into, because winning a Heisman doesn't get you anything else. Those guys who play who are looking to kill you next year on Sundays, they don't care that you have a Heisman. They're not going to care. They're there to make money. They're there to get contracts, and they're there to get paid. Anyways, 1420 Sports Bar or Sports 1420 in the morning, brought to you by Collectibles Exchange, collectiblesexchange.com. Use promo code CX10 at checkout for 10% off your first sale. Born on this day in 1950, one of the first goaltenders who I started to notice when I was a kid back in in 79 and 80, but when the first dynasty that I was ever knew about in the hockey world, when I was a fledgling young tender myself back in I was born in 74. So Billy Smith, born on this day in Perth, Ontario, Hall of Fame goalie, backstopped those great Islander teams to 4 straight Stanley Cups. He won a Vezina in 82, Conn Smythe MVP in 83, 17 season with the Islanders. When I was doing a little research on this, I didn't realize he was drafted by the Kings and played a few games with them the year before. So he had an 18 season career in the National Hockey League. Hell of a goaltender, man. He was really, really good. Never played a ton of games. The way Al Arbor used those systems back in the day, he had a 2 goaltender system, and they used a lot of guys so that they were ready to go into playoffs back then. And Billy Smith was a great Islander, and he looked so much older. Like, you look at the goaltenders now and the kids playing now, and the pitches of the guys from back in the day. Obviously, they were older than me, but just that you put the two headshots together, how much older those Islander teams just looked in general when they were on the ice and hoisting the Stanley Cup and getting everything ready to go for the playoffs. It's just funny, and the beards and the whole bit. So yeah, Billy Smith, he's known more, I think, for his rough and tumbleness and the slashing guys in front of the net and having the crease cleared for himself. He didn't have huge penalty minute numbers like I thought he would have, but Billy Smith was one hell of a goaltender. How he didn't get more injuries with that face guard that he wore is kind of a mystery to me, because his mask wasn't the most protective and the like, but hell of a goaltender nonetheless. He 17 season Hall of Famer with the Islanders and 4 straight Stanley Cups. Like I said, he hell of a goaltender, hell of a player. First guy to really handle the puck a little bit, and he revolutionized the game with the way he swung his stick. Also on this day in 1997, Pedro Martinez, formerly of the great Montreal Expos with their great hats and the whole bit, he got traded, but then because the Expos knew they couldn't sign him. So what they did, they traded him for Carl Pavano, I think it was, and then they signed him on this day in 1997. The Boston Red Sox did, to a 6-year, $75 million deal. You think of what that deal would look like now, but anyways, he got the 7th year vesting an option, which ended up being a $92 million contract for 7 years with the Red Sox. They ended up winning 2 Cy Youngs with them, and he was part of that team in 2004 that finally broke the curse of the Bambino, won themselves a World Series in 04. We all know this story if you're a Yankee fan of what happened in 04. The Yankees were up 3-0. Anyways, we won't talk about that a whole bunch, but also know Martinez was a great pitcher. Like I said, two Cy Youngs with the Red Sox. Also, but well known for to Yankee fans like myself, was when him and Don Zimmer had a little set to there, and things didn't go so well for Zim when Zimmer decided to charge over to the dugout. Martinez got a hold of Zim's bald bowling ball head and threw him down to the ground. Oh man, they were both in the wrong. Zimmer probably should not have been running over there, but he did. Martinez, the competitor that he is, he took matters into his own hands and did that. You wonder what that contract would look like now. You think of what Scherzer and Verlander got it 43 million per year for a couple of years and everything else. You wonder what Pedro Martinez numbers, if you prorated the numbers to what the contracts are nowadays, what it would have been like for Martinez. And because man, because he was young at the time. He was a stud pitcher. He probably didn't have the Tommy John surgery back then like everybody's got now. But Martinez was such a dominant guy, night in, night out. He put up some big numbers. Didn't have a ton of complete games later in his career. Like just when the analytics changed a little bit and guys weren't throwing, they went to bullpen a little bit more. But when he was pitching with Montreal, he was getting a lot of complete games. I think he had 12 one year or something stupid like that. I could be wrong. If you check it up, just let me know on Twitter and everywhere else, because you guys don't mind telling me when I'm wrong, but you very rarely tell me when I'm right, which is the way the world works sometimes. But it's kind of one of those things. Yeah. So Martinez, you think he would have got 50 a year, 50 a year back then, maybe? Like what did DeGrom? He just got 37, right? So relatively the same age when those contracts were signed and the whole bit. So you think that a guy the stature of Pedro Martinez and what he got. But on this day, the Boston Red Sox started their rebuild, started their curse to the Bambino to break that. And on this day, there was a big signing. Pedro Martinez signed a 6-year, $75 million deal with the Boston Red Sox, and the rest is history, and the Red Sox fans are happy and joyous and the rest. Anyways, Brent's Best Bets brought to you by Bodog. Tonight, I got on Monday Night Football, I got the New England Patriots over the Arizona Cardinals. Game that doesn't mean a whole bunch. I don't even know if anybody's going to watch this thing other than the fact just to watch it, but I got them winning that. Edmonton's going to straighten things out. The Oil, Connor McDavid's on pace for, Jesus, him and Draisaitl's on pace for 59, 60 goals, and McDavid's on pace for, I think, 76 or something. So they get the win tonight in Minnesota, and you got the Ottawa Senators at home over the Lonely Ducks tonight at the Canadian Tire Place. I think it's called Canadian Tire Place, only in Canada, right? But anyways, I got them winning tonight. Put down $20 and you win $88.47 at Bodog. Make a play at Bodog tonight, but be sure to bet responsibly. We got a lot of stuff going on this week here at 1420 World Headquarters. Me and Dave are doing a show tonight, our usual 1420 show. Got a Hey Blue coming out. We got foul tips coming out on Wednesday, I think. And so we got all kinds of stuff going on. Make sure you guys listen to the shows, download, talk to people about the show. That's the best way to get this out there. Let people know they're up on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, watch the videos, different clips and this and that. Support our sponsors because that helps support our show. Anyways, 14:20 in the morning. Going to get back on a regular schedule here. Like I said, I was a little groggy on Saturday morning, so I didn't get it out there in time. It got put up later on in the day. So if you haven't listened to that one yet, listen to that one. It was basically about the Leafs and the rest. But anyways, 14:20 in the morning, brought to you today by Collectors Exchange and collectorsexchange.com. Use promo code 1420CX to get 10% off your first purchase at collectiblexchange.com. Have a good day, folks, and we'll talk to you again tomorrow morning.